I was I I am a lead singer and I have an ego thing, and so I always had a weird thing when I was meeting like stars that I wished that I was a little further along in my own career so that I wouldn't just be a fanboy saying, "Oh, you inspired me." That they could say, "Oh, I heard your latest record," or I saw something, I you caught my eye when you performed. I mean, there was a little tiny bit of that, but it wasn't where I would have wanted to. That's just a getting into my head thing, but
Yeah.
it bothered me sometimes. Um, but yeah, meeting David was fantastic because it was at work and he was in the audience and I was on stage, so that felt fine. Other times, like David Johansen was one of the biggest, the singer of the New York Dolls, who went on to have his own career as Buster Poindexter. He was one of my huge influences, and I worked with him with Joe Perry, but I didn't want to meet him as where I was at yet. I wanted to meet him when I was a little further on in my career. It's just a weird thing. I hung out in the same dressing room with him, and we partied together. We were drinking from the same, but I wasn't really like getting down talking to him like I'm talking to you right now.
All right, cool. We have to take a quick break. Sophia, can you explain what the Erica Legacy Foundation is all about?
Yes, the Erica Legacy Foundation is a foundation that exists that is there to help people in need that are mentally or emotionally in distress. If you or anyone that you know is going through an emotional time, ow, sorry, my cat, reach out to the Erica Legacy Foundation. They have helped hundreds of people in need.
All right.
It's now time for quiz with
And
Quimsel.
Sophia on the beat, we turning heads, bringing heat to the street. Get ready now, it's our time to shine. Feel the rhythm, every move is divine. Feel the madness, it's a party in your soul. Feel the madness, let the good times roll. Feel the madness, come and join the ride.
All right, guys, I'm going to ask a question and you have to answer correctly. The first one's going to answer is Mach, then Chat, then Lewis. The question today is, what celebrity famously tweeted, "Let me be clear, nah, let me be opaque"?
Uh,
We have to figure out what celebrity said that quote.
Yes, yes,
Am I supposed to go first?
yes.
Yes, that was Kelly Ripa.
Nope.
Oh,
Why do you sound like
chat.
you're burping?
Cause I don't know. I was hoping Mock got it. Cause does anyone in chat got it? Cause
Do you believe in love after love?
Share?
Sure.
Very good.
Cher said it.
Well, that was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was close. He was, yes, he was very close. Did chat come up with anything
No.
or no? Because I hear crickets.
That was a hard one.
What? It was. It was like, how in God's name was
Cat
Mock
butt.
or I even supposed to
Yeah.
cat butt? How were we supposed to get that? I was like,
Well, you
what
used to
the?
say that my questions are too easy, so I changed it up.
No, you keep going that way, little girl. Because that was
Okay.
like, yes, that was awesome.
Okay.
Because no, keep going. I was when you said it, I was like looking at Mock going, "Oh dear God, please have that answer because I don't have it." No way. My God.
Mango said I had no idea on that one.
Yeah,
To be fair, if you don't follow the celebrities tweet, then why would you know?
Well, that's
I
just hearing celebrities makes me nervous because most of the celebrities I follow aren't the ones that are, on TMZ and Extra tonight. Yeah, I'm a little behind the curve on celebrities,
It's
but
okay. It's
no,
all good.
I'm still
I
digging Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, if you know what I mean. I'm still in 1986.
me too, brother. Me too.
back in the
So
good old days.
we have more chats coming up. Now we did have a chat, two that were coming up. One from it was something geek that came up, and
The
Grimlock
geek.
Storm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need more dancing now. Music
yeah, and there,
was alive.
yeah,
Yes.
and there was something else that they said,
Wisdom.
wisdom. Now, when Mark was talking about a lot of different things, he came up and said wisdom, and that is what we're getting tonight is a lot of wisdom from Mark, and music is the pathway to the soul. That's what I was always told,
Yes.
and my music tastes range. I mean, hugely, and I want to know, Cowboy, what is your musical taste like? Is it all rock, or can you just flip a switch and go from one genre to another?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's I'm really into like cool jazz, Miles Davis, uh,
Ooh,
stuff from the late '50s West Coast jazz scene, and Ramsey Lewis. I love the Ramsey Lewis trio. But then I love the French girl singers, the pop singers. I like to watch Emily in Paris and hear those girls sing, and I got all those albums full of those kind of American pop songs, but with French vocalists and Bridget Bardot doing her. And I love all that stuff. Um, I'm classical music. I still listen to. I did grow up classically trained. Um, but I dig the Stones when I clean the house. I still go back to the Stones and a lot of we came. The first band I ever saw was the Jimi Hendrix Experience,
ooh,
and they came to my town, Framingham, and then Led Zeppelin came to Framingham the next summer. So I saw them in this little tent there too. So that British hard rocking Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix, Cream, John Mayall with Peter Green and Yardbirds. That whole scene, man, I just keep coming back there because that's where I was when I was 16 and 13. And I think with a lot of people, if you say, "What music do you dig?" and then say, and they'll tell you, and then it's the stuff when they were between 13 and 17 sticks, and it sticks your whole life. That's the stuff that it turns you on in a way, not only
it,
musically and psychically, but then in the time it brings you back in time as well. I'm at I don't know if you're playing a legacy or whatever you call it, an old time video game. Does that bring you back to your youth? Um,
yeah,
Nostalgia.
yeah, and I can definitely relate with my music choices, because growing up, um, my mom, my dad, they listened to nothing but 50s and 60s. My
Mhm.
mom always had Elvis on,
Mm.
and that's what I remember as a kid, and that's what Sophia, when we go out, what do we listen what do I make you listen to?
Elvis.
Elvis. That's what I'm constantly listening to.
He
So I
fits
totally
every
yeah.
Elvis fits every occasion.
Hmm.
If you're throwing it back and just having a good time, with some, doing the clam or whatever, that's you just partying with Elvis. But when he does his from the heart, when he's singing, there'll be peace in the valley and that kind of
Hmm.
thing. I mean, you can be losing a loved one, and Elvis can still soothe your soul.
Yeah.
He is amazing, the breadth of where he goes with his music. So I'm with you with Elvis, and I thought his movies were corny when I was a teenager growing up, but now that I'm an old guy, I love pulling those out because they're full of that stuff I was just talking about. Girls are dancing on the tin shacks. Elvis is swiveling his hips and playing the guitar. The plots are really easy. There's no nothing to slow you down. Everybody's having a good time, and everybody looks great. And it's just you got Shelley Fabaret and
Yeah.
all the Elvis's gang. And, oh man, it's awesome. And
Yeah, I
that's almost a
no.
little like that would have been my big brother's music if I'd had a big brother. I was the oldest. I, Elvis, I almost missed him. My parents didn't listen. My parents were too highbrow. They were into classical music and folk music, the Kingston Trio, and they didn't listen to Elvis music, pop music. I didn't have anybody older in the family bringing pop music into the house, so that was I had to sneak that in myself, and I was felt guilty about it at first,
Hmm.
digging that kind of music, after being raised so well to appreciate fine art. But the rock just hit me, and that was my art, man, and that was it.
Groovy,
That's awesome.
groovy.
Could you get this
Sophia, we got a
comment?
comment?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sillyville, the movie says hot take or hot music take. Cheap Trick is the best American rock band.
Robin Zander of Cheap Trick shares my birthday. Not only the
Oh,
day, but the year. I had dinner with Robin one night, and we happened to come on to our birthdays. And the funny thing was, Robin's son was with us, and Robin's son is also shares the same birthday as Robin and me. Well, not the same year. He's a son, but Robin and I are both 1953.
that's
Um,
awesome. That
yeah,
is so
That
cool.
is.
Birthday
yeah,
That is
twins.
awesome.
I
We got
love, I love that
Jake
band.
Crandall. Lewis better listen to Elvis or Priscilla. We'll find him. Oh yes.
Yes. Yes, I know. Priscilla is just she is just amazing. The times that I got to work with her is she's an amazing, amazing person.
You bet.
Um, oh, yeah, Priscilla is just I was shaking. I fanboyed out when I was with Priscilla. I was like, and yeah, it was just simply
Wow.
amazing. When what in your hot take, since we just had that from Sillyville, the movie, in your opinion, besides Thunder Train, what is the greatest rock band of all time?
Yeah, I keep going back to Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix experience, and the thing with Jimmy was he was an awesome singer. Everybody goes
Mhm.
straight to the guitar, but I mean, who do you want? Who's going to sing Fire and Foxy Lady and Purple Haze other than Jimmy? I mean, I've seen Rod Stewart and I've seen Mick and I've seen uh, Robert Plant, but Jimmy on Jimmy's stuff, singing Electric Ladyland and the stuff on Act, it's killer. And he can take a Dylan song like a Rolling Stone and kill on that too. I mean, Jimmy was funny. He was hilarious. He was killing it, but he was doing these little things like blowing his nose on a Confederate flag in the middle of the show. He had it as his back, his handkerchief had a little Confederate flag. He just would put in these little things, and he was great with the crowd, and he was sexy as all hell. I've never been, maybe it was like being around Elvis in his prime or something. Which it was mind blowing in suburban Framingham because everybody was just in his spell, and it was too much, man. Jimmy was awesome. He was the best. And then because I went to see Rod Stewart singing with Jeff Beck's band, the Jeff Beck group.
Mhm.
They had Rod Stewart on lead vocal, Jeff Beck on guitar, Ron Wood on bass, Nicky Hopkins on piano. I mean, they were killer. But I had to say, not quite as good as Jimmy
Wow.
and Led
Un-
Zeppelin.
Mm.
I loved Led Zeppelin and everything, but they were no contest at all to either of those first two bands. That at that time in 68, 69, I mean, whew, it was so hot then, man. So that's where I'm at. But once again, how old was I? 15 years old. It hit me. It's like a thing in my back of my, like one in the science fiction movie that Sophia watches. It hits your neck and you won't let go.
Oh, all right, we're gonna take a quick.
Wait. Just
Oh,
two comments, then we break.
sure.
Okay, Silly says, agreed. I love Hendrix as a singer. His voice was perfect for these songs. Agreed. And Jake Randall, good showman. Agreed.
All
Agreed.
right.
Agreed. All right.
Yes.
I mean, Jimmy doesn't really need me to defend him, but it's just that when people talk about Hendrix, it's always, oh, guitar, guitar, guitar. No, he's a good guitarist too, but man, that guy could sing and
Yeah.
showmanship. He was and dress, the style.
It was everything. He
I
had
mean, you
everything.
guys know style. Jimmy was right up there with you guys.
That is very flattering, sir. And flattery will get you nowhere except for with her. We're gonna be right back. 30 seconds.
It's the question of the week. Let's dive right in. Riddles